Is Blake Lively spiraling online? Could this be a sign that her marriage to Ryan Reynolds really may be? It ends with divorce. I think that's where we're headed. Plus, we have a Paris Louvre heist. Lots to dive into there. You guys sent in some of your favorite conspiracy theories that I figured we could go through together. And John Stamos is defending Lori Loughlin. Lots to get into. I hope you're ready for it. Let's dive in. This is No Filter with Zack Peter, your go-to source for all the latest pop culture and reality TV tea, serve fresh all week long. Now, let's dive in. Good morning, guys. Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday, October 21st. What's going on, everybody in the club? Hopefully your week is off to a great start. Just a reminder, the podcast is now going to be segmented. So Wednesdays will be our bigger cultural, sometimes politically spicy conversations. I'll have a panel that joins me every Wednesday, and we'll dissect some of these bigger topics. That way, if you don't want the heavy topics, you don't have to worry about the heavy topics until Wednesdays. And if you do want the spicier, heavier topics, then you'll know we'll get into it on Wednesdays. So starting this Wednesday, I have a couple of friends that are going to be on the show with me. And then Thursday will be our reality recaps, and Fridays will be our Pop Report Fridays, where I'll have some friends join me on Fridays for fun, lighthearted pop culture talk. So panel every Wednesday, panel every Friday. Wednesday will be the bigger, meatier, politically spicier conversations, and then Fridays will be our Pop Report Fridays, our fun Fridays. Well, Chef Stu will be here. I'll probably have Donna sneak on a couple of times. So get ready for it. Danielle, you keep asking me, what is the book for the month? What is the book for the month? What is the book for the month? I told you in the DMs. So we're doing Kevin Federline's book, and then we're going to do Cheryl Hines' book. If you are part of No Filter All Access, if you are on the Zactivated plan, you will be part of book club. So I think we're going to do two books back to back. We're going to do Kevin Federline's book, and then we'll do Cheryl Hines' book. Cheryl Hines' book doesn't come out until November 15th, so we got a little time, but we'll do Kevin Federline's book drops today. Kevin Federline's book drops today, so we can read it this week, and we can do book club on Sunday of this week, and then we'll do Cheryl Hines' book next month, rather. What happened with Andy? Go listen to No Filter All Access. I did a whole episode on the Pop Report and on Andy, and yeah, we are going to be moving forward. I am going to be moving forward with the Pop Report. I will be having it here on No Filter on Fridays. It is going to be a fun panel discussion. And yeah, was Andy in court today? Andy Cohen, Andy Lawani, Andy Signor? You need to be a little more specific. Too many Andys in the world, Jane. Erica says, what is Erica asking? Keep it 100. Oh, where is Candace Owens? Oh, I don't know. People are like, she took some time off, is about to come back with vengeance. Yeah, she's probably simmering on something. I don't know. I've heard that Candace has been taking a little bit of a break. Popcorn Andy. Okay, when you're saying Andy, then let's be specific about the Andy. I don't know. Is he in court today? Let's ask the Avengers. Let's see. Is Andy in court today? There we go. I text them. I will let you know if he's in court today and what is happening. I'll keep you posted as I find out. They took down all of her Charlie Kirk videos. Well, I did see that like people were getting death threats from Candace's content about like, she's like, I think this person's in on it. I think she went a little hot, a little too fast, right? Because even at the beginning when she's like, I have questions, and it's not bad to ask questions. I'm very big on, listen, this is a conversation maybe for tomorrow. I'm big on asking questions. I'm not big on throwing out big, bold accusations, which I feel like sometimes she kind of gets a little tunnel vision and she just goes so hard with her theories and her opinions, which she's more than welcome to do. And I absolutely support. But I saw that it was getting really bad and that like people's families were being threatened and there were like vigilantes that were going out and like trying to hunt down these people that they believed were on Charlie Kirk's team, that they believed may have been part of this big conspiracy. So I just think that's where you need to kind of be a little careful. I think it's one thing to question the government. It's one thing to have open-ended questions about stories that don't make sense, but also understand that when there's an ongoing investigation, we're not going to get all of those details up front. We can call things out. We can say things are suspicious. We can poke, we can prod, we can do all of those things, but we also need to be a bit mindful of the fact that I think as I'm learning, I think we're all kind of learning here, right? So there's a bit of a grace period, but I think we're all learning that the more information we put out there, that there are people that will be radicalized despite where you fall on the political spectrum. People will become radicalized enough to take action. And I think that's what happened. Candace was putting all this information out there, and there were pieces of information, right? And we're putting the puzzle together, but we also have to remember sometimes people get really fired up. And my understanding is that people were then starting to target some of these people on Charlie Kirk's team and their families, which I think gets into very dangerous territory. And I also think just, not in Candace's defense, but also in Candace's defense, like, she also lost somebody that was very close to her, whether they were close in the last couple of years or not. Like, she had a very special relationship with Charlie Kirk, and I think grief can blind you sometimes because your emotions get the best of you. And I'm not saying that to Candace as a woman, I'm saying as a human that is going through a grieving process. I do crazy shit when I'm grieving. I've been very out of character. I've done things that, I wouldn't say I necessarily regret, but it's just you're not in the right headspace, right? Like, look at this. My tattoo, my giant tattoo. I got a giant tattoo when, Jeff passed away. And it's like, sometimes you just make these impulsive decisions. Kyla says, Zach, I doubt you had time to check your messages, but you have to check out the hilarious photo I sent of a neighbor of mine having an actual life-size cutout of Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Oh my God, that sounds hilarious. Okay, let's dive into, do we want to start with Blake Lively? Yeah, let's start with Blake Lively. We'll get into the Louvre, and then we'll talk about all of these. So, I promote Soul CBDs. They're out of office gummies and they're out of office drinks. Well, they sent me a fresh pack of them, and I figured since I'm on my parasite cleanse right now, which, by the way, to answer everybody's questions about the parasite, because I feel like I answered them on Instagram and then everyone asked me the same damn questions, and I'm like, I literally just said I did a stool analysis, a comprehensive 3-day stool analysis, and that's how we determined I have a parasite. But how did you find out? Because I did a stool analysis. Were there any signs? Well, obviously I went to the doctor. So yes, there were signs. I'm like, guys, so here's the parasite story one more time. And then you can take notes and clip it out and do all the things. Yes, I was experiencing some symptoms. I was very bloated. I thought that because I was in a bulking phase and I was starting to introduce dairy back into my diet, that maybe that was what was causing the bloating. I'm trying to not get too graphic with this, but let's just say food was going through me a lot more regularly than it needed to be, right? And we weren't fully solid, right? So I was like, this is kind of and it was going on for like months and months and months. And so I was like, I think something's kind of off. My brain was getting a little foggy. I would get really bloated, and I wasn't feeling ideal. And then I was also getting a lot of anxiety. So I decided to go to the doctor and be like, okay, I haven't done all my panels in a while. Let's do full comprehensive blood panel, stool analysis, all of it, right? All of it. The works. Very expensive. And we did all of it. We examined everything, and we determined that I do have a parasite and I do have some bacterial overgrowth. My gut is not happy. It's not healthy right now. It's like in very troubled waters. And so I'm doing 5 days of antibiotics. And then after that, I'm getting on ivermectin, and I'm doing a whole parasite cleanse for like the next couple of weeks. So in that process, so yes, there were signs, bloating, foggy brain, all these things, anxiety. Granted, there was a lot that was going on over the summer, so that was part of it. But so yes, there were symptoms. Yes, I went to the doctor. I got blood work. We checked my hormones. We checked my stress levels. We checked my blood pressure. We checked my heart. We checked all of my organs, like all the things, right? My liver is actually very healthy. Thank you very much. And I did a 3-day stool analysis where I collected stool samples for 3 days. I sent that in. They did it. They looked at it. They tested everything. And then it's like this big report. I think it was Genova Diagnostics is the one that I did. It's like this comprehensive report, and it breaks down like the bacteria and the parasites and the yeast and all the stuff. It's like many, many pages, very, very detailed, and determined that, yeah, my parasite on a scale of 1 to 10, it was like in the full red zone at a number 10. So I'm doing a parasite cleanse. There's antibiotics. We're doing probiotics. We're doing a lot of immune system stuff. And yes, part of the protocol is I'm also taking ivermectin and something else. So yeah. There you go. There's all the tea, all the details. I hope to be fresh and clean afterwards. I'm not drinking right now, so I've been doing the out of office drinks and the gummies, which I've been telling. Listen, I'm telling you, I actually take the products. I'm doing seed probiotics. I'm doing all the things, right? All of the things. So yeah, there you go. Love it, Zach. You'll be fresh and clean. Yes, that's the goal. Better be some big worm. Ugh, I don't even want to think about that. I just want the parasite gone and out of me. People are asking me if I was losing weight. I wasn't really losing weight, but it's also kind of hard to determine because I was eating a lot because I'm in a bulking phase and I'm lifting 5 times a week, working out at least 6 times a week. So it's kind of hard to determine, what my body, like weight wise. I think a lot of people who aren't typically active or aren't trying to bulk, it's a bit challenging. Pat said yesterday I mentioned that I wanted to start taking one of Zach's gummies because he was off the chain. It was fun. So I asked people to send in that don't eat sugary so parasite doesn't multiply. Well, Mel, I'm working on it. So yeah, I had the drinks. I had 2 of the drinks, the 2.5 milligrams of THC drinks last night. And then I was like, send me your, because I was going down the Helen Keller rabbit hole. And yeah. Marcia says, what was the parasite? Do you want me to do a colonoscopy live on the show? Why am I under oath about the parasite in my gut? All y'all need to know is that there's a parasite in my gut. I've named it Blake Lively and I'm taking care of it. All right. I'm battling it out in court. And that's all you need to know about my damn parasite. When I feel like having a damn colonoscopy live on the show for everybody to go and see the worm in my gut, then I will do it live on Instagram and X, and I'll stream it here on YouTube, and then everybody's questions will be answered. How would you guys feel if you walked into work one day and you're just like, oh, yeah, I have a parasite. And then all of your coworkers were like, well, what were the symptoms and what were the signs and what was the test that you did? And how were you gaining weight? Were you losing weight? What was the parasite? What's the name of the parasite? What did the parasite look like? Was it pink? Was it white? Was it a big black dick? Like, what was the parasite? Like, can y'all just let me live my parasitic life? Donna wants to, is the parasite gay too? Donna's very fixated on gay things and gay people. We need a meet and greet with the parasite. Christian is, oh my God, I'm one of those nosy ass people. I am too, but at some point, leave the parasite alone. Helen Keller would feel with her hands. She would feel the parasite. She'd be like, she would fist herself and be like, she'll catch the parasite all on her own. LOL, maybe because people care. JT, these people don't care. All they need, if you care, then all you need to know is that it's being taken care of. I called the plumber and we're handling it. Amanda says, most people have parasites. I'm currently doing a cleanse right now. Wish mine made me skinny. Yeah, same thing. I remember one time I met this one girl and she was like, oh my God, I had a parasite and it was the worst thing ever. And I just kept losing weight. And I was like, God, I would love a parasite. She just looked at me horrified. And I was just like, what? You were lucky. You got one of the fun ones, She was like, I couldn't keep anything down. And I was like, that sounds great. I used to be bulimic and sometimes I miss those days. Donna says she loves gay people. I don't know, Donna. Sometimes the comments you make, I question. I want to subscribe to the Parasites YouTube channel. Well, go to bettybooze.com. Go, Zack. What was all this Helen Keller stuff? I missed. Listen, if you're late to the party, then you're late to the party and you have to go back and catch up on the party. Okay? Marcia says, I think I have something growing in me. A baby or a parasite? Well, some people may feel like that's the same thing. I'm aborting my parasite, okay? My body, my choice, and I've decided I don't want to keep the parasite. I don't want to keep Blake Lively inside me, so I'm going to abort mission, okay? See, men can have abortions too. Sarah says, okay, I came in late and I got to fast forward through the parasite chat. I didn't bring up the parasite. Everybody else was so fascinated about the parasite. Danielle says, Zach is spicy today. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Oh my God. Marcia says she has a tumor growing inside. Marcia, okay, we're taking down. I'm sorry about the tumor in your gut. We're going to change the subject now. I wish you nothing but the best, my love. Cheryl says, Zach, I've been so stressed the past day about parasites living inside me. Thank you so much. Listen, you can live and survive a parasite. Blake Lively got an eviction notice. That she did. Is the parasite's name Blake? Yes. You're a little behind matcha latte. Yes. Okay. On the note of parasites, we're going to take a quick ad break and then we'll get into Blake Lively and all her spiraled out social media posts. So, as the holidays approach, you can always get what you need to personalize your home with Wayfair. You can shop holiday decor for every room in the house, whether it's Christmas trees, wreaths, or other inflatables for the front yard. Wayfair is your one-stop shop. You can even refresh your guest room with new bedding, linens, throw pillows, accent chairs for way less if you have family coming into town. You can make holiday hosting a breeze with quality cookware that will wow just about any guest. I love Wayfair. Like I told you guys, I did some Wayfair shopping. I'm going to do a little more shopping this week. I got a new carpet for my living room because, I have dogs and I have to get carpets often because when you have, well, I guess the dogs are starting to settle down. They're not puppies anymore. So I'm now getting to invest in pieces. And so I've been investing in cute little items for my living room and just for the apartment overall. Even this new plant. Remember, everyone's like, oh my God, Zack, I love the new plant. I got this on Wayfair. I'm telling you, Wayfair is your one-stop shop. From beddings and bath basics, kids' rooms, home decor, kitchen essentials, living room items. They have everything. There's something for every style in every home, no matter your space or budget. Wayfair makes it easy to tackle your home goals this holiday season with endless inspiration for every space and every budget. For all your season must-haves, from furniture and holiday decor to appliances and cookware, it's all in one convenient place because hosting just got a whole lot easier with Wayfair. Get organized, refreshed, and get ready for the holidays for way less. Head to wayfair.com right now to shop all things home. That's Wayfair, Wayfair.com. Wayfair. Every style, every home. Okay, Blake Lively. Let's determine whether or not we think that things with Ryan Reynolds are going downhill because she is. Oh, look at Beth says, if you weren't here yesterday, go back and watch Zack's show. I laughed until my stomach hurt. I thought I had a parasite. LOL. I kid. I will say Friday's episode and Monday's episode were both stellar and exceptional. Stu was on our Friday episode. He'll be on our Friday episodes moving forward with our pop report Fridays. And then Monday's episode was just, well, we went down the Helen Keller rabbit hole. So, I mean, if you are blind and deaf or you want to know what that's like, then I recommend you'd fall out of a coconut tree and go down our Helen Keller rabbit hole from Monday and the Blake Lively audio. That was fun reviewing. And then Friday, we got into we were talking about warming your cooch with Kim Kardashian's Bush underwear. So much to get into. So much. So thank you, Beth, for reminding us how fun that was. Let's see. It will be almost 1 year since the Blake shitstorm. I know. Well, that was what, December? I mean, it's been a year since all the other stuff happened. Erica C. Erica Kirk. No, I'm kidding. Loves Stu on your show when he's on his own show. He's a little too scattered. Well, I love Stu when he's on my show. He'll be on my show Fridays moving forward. And we're getting ready to celebrate his 100th episode. I believe me and Donna are going to be on his 100th episode, and I can't wait. I'm sure we're going to talk lots about Jeff Lewis the whole time. Okay. Blake Lively. So she went on this spiral series, posting all of these Instagram stories yesterday. And it's very confusing as to what the point of these were. She just started posting all of these random resources. And listen, for DV and gaslighting and narcissism. And good for her. I'm glad that she wants to educate people and use her powers for good and not evil. I guess it's Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And so she wants everybody to be aware that there are resources out there for you and that 1 in 3 people experience teen dating violence. She gave us a lecture on technology facilitated abuse, which is abuse in the use of technology, including texting or social media bullying, harassment, stalking, or ways to intimidate a partner. It's a form of emotional abuse. She gave us a lecture on Consent 101 with a fun little graphic so that we can learn all about consent, because consent, it's very important in today's day and age. And then she gave us the 6 common phrases of gaslighting. So if you were curious about any of this stuff, she went on a full, deep dive into all of the different types of I guess mental and emotional abuse that she wants to save you from. And I'm just like, you mentally and emotionally abuse me every day when I have to continue to follow this bullshit lawsuit that you're filing against Justin Baldoni. But sure, girl, sure. I feel emotionally abused by you. Beth says she is emotional abuse. Blake is different. Yeah, she's very different. Marcia says, so is Ryan as manipulative as Blake? I think Ryan's more manipulative than Blake. So I'm very much, what is the common phrase for Blake trying to gaslight? Oh, do you want to go through the common phrases of gaslighting? We can do that. There are so many. So here are Blake Lively's common phrases for gaslighting, which makes me think maybe Ryan Reynolds has said these to her very often, or quite a bit often. She said, "You're being crazy." That's one of the regular ones. "You made me do it." That's another one. "Everybody agrees with me. You're just difficult. You're overreacting. If you loved me, you'd dot dot dot. That never happened. You're just being paranoid." This does feel like gaslighting for sure. But like, what happens if a bitch really is being crazy and you're just like, whoa? Like, how do you tell somebody they're being crazy without gaslighting them? I'm just curious. Not to diminish it, but like, just legit question popped into my head. Like, how do you have that conversation with them? But also, I was reading these and I'm like, how often has Ryan Reynolds used these terms on her lately? Because it feels like one of those moments, like when you're drunk, you're like, oh, I'm home. It's been a long week. I'm gonna have a martini or I'm gonna have some wine. And the next thing you know, you start posting sad things on Instagram, or you start posting like all these subliminal messages. Um, Copper says, does it sound like Ryan and maybe lines out of the It Ends With Us movie? I don't think these are lines out of the It Ends With Us movie. I'm just very, you know, but she's 20 years too late. That too. Um, I don't know. You say, I feel. Donna, sometimes I feel like you're a bitch to gay people. So I feel that way. You're doing a Blake Lively. Oh, is that what you say? Just say, bitch, be gone. And you can say anything with the smile. Okay, you have to detach. Interesting. I'm glad we have a lot of therapists on the case. Donna says, you don't know what that MJ attorney does, and says, touch grass. I don't pay attention to that stupid MJ attorney. I think she's a little cuckoo magoo, right? She's very much like all of Blake Lively's cooch, and she's like, in love with Ryan. Like, she fangirls over Blake and Ryan. And I just think some people like have this desire to be part of like a social movement, and they need to feel important in their lives. And so by attaching themselves to a perceived social cause, it gives them a sense of validation and importance. And so good for her, good for her. I'm glad that she feels like she's doing the Lord's work by protecting Blake Lively in spite of all the objective information that's been placed in front of us. If people want to put on their blinders and be blindly loyal to Blake, then be blindly loyal to Blake. It's so crazy because all those Blake bots, including MJ, they never call out Blake Lively on any of her stuff. Like, I feel like we've all gotten our beatings from the internet most of us with a brain, right, Donna? Like, we will call out certain things, be like, oh, this is a bad look for Justin, or oh, I don't like this, doesn't look good, or like, we're willing to call things out when it looks bad, or being like, oh my god, like Blake just keeps getting wins. Like, I don't know if we have faith in how this is going to play out in the end. Like, we've all cast our doubts, and the internet has gotten mad at us accordingly because they want us to absolutely be blindly loyal to Justin Baldoni, and we've called things out before. Now, when it comes to the Blake bots, I feel like they never have that. There's never any self-reflection. She's always right. Believe women 24/7 unconditionally, and Blake happens to be a woman, so she's incapable of lying. That's the biggest fucking gaslight, is that women are incapable of lying. So when people like MJ are like, believe women unconditionally, even if Blake Lively appears to be a liar and a terrible person, we must believe her at all ends, because you can be a bitch and still be SH at the same time. It's like, nobody's saying that two things can't be true. Oh my God. It's exhausting sometimes. Exactly. When we see things are bad, she doesn't. Yeah, exactly. So I think she's the one that needs to touch grass. This is why they're called bots. Like, yeah, but some of them are actually like real people. They're just a little delulu. Doo-loo-loo. Uh, Jonah says, "Pell me out if you're a friend." Say what? Girl, I don't know what you're saying. Donna says, "And she calls us misogynist if we call her out." Why isn't she a misogynist? Like, she's mean and she tweets mean things to women all the time. Why doesn't that make her a misogynist? Oh, because she has double standards? Oh, sounds like Blake Lively. Cute. It's so wild when people just flippantly throw those terms out there and they're just like, "You're a misogynist." Am I? What does that even mean anymore? Like, people have so far diluted that word, and they're like, "Well, I'm an expert because I got an A on a test in school, which makes me smarter than you." I was like, "You may be book smart, but you're pretty dumb in real life. You know, your critical thinking skills kind of may have taken a hit, so we should probably get that checked out. Maybe you have a parasite in your brain." Kayla says, "So what's up regarding the recording? Was there anything in there worth hearing?" Okay, again, guys, if you listened to the show yesterday that was dedicated to the recording, we went in through all the recording. But I mean, listen, the gist of it, no, was that there was nothing really in the recording. It was not, it was a whole lot of nothing. Um, and we finally hear the comment about Steve Sarowitz saying that he was going to, that if Blake Lively pushed them to the point of litigation, that he was going to fight back to protect the studio, and he would fight back the way Israel fought against Hamas. Not Palestine, but he specifically said Hamas, right? Because there is a distinction between Palestine and Hamas. The same way there's a distinction between Israel and Jewish people, right? Nuance, layers, context. And so he said that he would protect the studio. And he made it clear that he had no interest in going into further litigation. He didn't want things to get legal. He did not want to go to court. They had lawyers ready. They had their team set and in place and ready, but it made it seem like Blake and whoever was on, I'm assuming Leslie Sloan and Ryan Reynolds, were really pushing the Wayfair parties to meet their demands or else. And then they came with the or else. So I agree. It was a big nothing burger. It was a 36, 30, almost 37-minute recording that was done by Claire. She, I guess she's a film creator, a filmmaker. And she was making a movie about big girls that do big girl things. And yeah, and Wayfair was financing that project for her, and they were going to screen it at their theaters. And then Claire, for whatever reason, thought she was going to come in and secretly record Steve Sarowitz and take that recording, and she just voluntarily handed it up and gave it to Blake for no real reason, right? First of all, my understanding is, one, we know he didn't consent to this recording happening. Like, he very much was unaware that he was being recorded. She secretly recorded it. She said that she secretly recorded it because she was afraid that Steve Sarowitz would try to convince her to let Justin Baldoni on the set of her film. When if you actually listen to it, like, that's not the sentiment that I got from, like, to me, it made it seem like she didn't even really know who Justin Baldoni was. And Sarowitz was kind of like, yeah, Baldoni's actually a great guy. His sets always run really smoothly. Like, he was kind of defending Baldoni, but the sentiment is that she wasn't that familiar with Baldoni. Um, and it didn't seem like he was pressuring her in any way to have Baldoni on the set of her big girl film. Like, I didn't understand the point of her. I didn't understand her excuse for recording it. She said she was afraid. She was afraid going into this meeting because she thought he was going to manipulate her. And I'm just like, aren't you like all about, pro woman? Isn't it pretty misogynist to think that, you're such a dumb, impressionable woman that Steve Sarowitz is going to convince you to do something against your will that you didn't really want to do? So that's why you needed to secretly, and I believe illegally, record this phone call. I believe this happened in Illinois, right? Is that where the recording took place? Jonah says that's not legal to record people. Exactly. Happy Chrissy says, "This Claire, who would want to work with her after this backstabbing that she did?" I mean, it's not just backstabbing. It's like, it's one, illegal, again, to my understanding, because I believe that this was recorded. Correct me if I'm wrong, if anybody in the live chat has anything. Who's going to want to employ her? If she secretly records you and it's obvious that she has some sort of agenda, I don't think that that makes you very employable. And now I'm sure she'll say that that's sexist and racist and all these other things and probably queer phobic. I'm sure she's somewhere on the queer spectrum. I wouldn't be surprised. I just learned what sapphic is. Sapphic is it's apparently women that love other women, or women identifying women that love other women. And I'm just like, so lesbians. And then I was told, no, it's not lesbians. I was like, but aren't lesbians women that love women? And they're like, well, no, because sapphic can include like trans women. And I was like, well, wasn't the whole point of being trans to be a woman? Like, isn't the whole point of your distinction to be like women are women? And that's why a trans woman is a woman. And that's why she should compete in sports with other women because she's a woman. And that's why she should be in the women's bathroom because she's not a trans woman. She's a woman. Trans women are women. So I'm just like, so why does she not become a lesbian? Like, why does she suddenly become sapphic? If sapphic is a woman identifying person loving other women or other women identifying person, I don't like it doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Like it doesn't make any sense. I'm like, you're a lesbian. Like, why can't you just be a lesbian? Stop trying to erase lesbians. Let lesbians live their life. Let them get their tool belt and live their life and stop trying to erase lesbians. Okay. And again, if you're going to become a woman, right? Because that's the logic is you want to become a woman. So then you're then a woman, right? In your head. And so then why do you need to then be sapphic and not lesbian? You know? Paola says Sarowitz was funding Claire's dream, which was to make that movie, and then she backstabs him like that. That's what I think was the most shady is that she gets this opportunity, and you listen to the video, right? The audio. You listen to the audio, and Sarowitz is like, "Yeah, let's fill up the Wayfair Theater. Like, I'm financing your film. I support your all-inclusive big girl fashion line, and come and fill up the theater." And bring all the people to come and watch your big girl film, and like good, he was like fully in supportive of this. And so I don't understand why she then thought that like, let me then backstab him, secretly illegally record him, and then give that to Blake Lively and have her use that against them in court, and then file a declaration on top of it to say I was so afraid of this man, when it's like, well, first of all, what happened to equality, right? Why is a woman afraid of a man if women and men can compete in the same sports team? Like, I don't know. Like, the number of fucking hypocrisy and like double standards is crazy. Crazy. Biting the hand that fed her. Yeah. And also ungrateful. Poor guy has probably lost a lot of trust in people. Yeah, at this point, how do you trust anybody? You have secret recording, like you're trying to help. Like also, and how does that help the progressive movement when people like Claire are trying to get their films financed and they want more people to come and finance their progressive ideological films and that are, pro woman and pro big girl and pro all these things that you want to march for, and then you go over and you finally get the money to finance a project, and then what? Because again, what was the point of sharing this audio with Blake Lively? Truly, if because I haven't even been on the crazy theory of like Blake hired her or sent her, like somehow Blake put Claire up to this. I haven't jumped on that train yet. I don't have enough evidence to support that theory, so I'm not going to jump on that train. But I know that that's a theory that people are running with. But it's just crazy to me. Like you really shot yourself in the foot, and for what? So that you could bootleg Blake Lively? You want to kiss up to Blake and Ryan because you think that was a better investment? How does that make you better than any of the other shady people in Hollywood if all you're willing to do is backstab and take people's money? Even if you don't believe in them or you think that they're bad people, you're still going to take their money, put that money in your pocket for your own self-interest and benefits, and then go and kiss up to who you believe is the bigger celebrity. You're a phony and you're a fake, Claire. You're a phony and fake. I don't care about Claire. Sorry, not going to happen. Blake probably promised her the recording wouldn't get out. Yeah, I'm sure Blake promised a lot of people a lot of things. I don't think any of them expected this recording to get out. And boom, here we are. Recording is out. Recording is public. It's out there now. How did Steve and Justin not spot the Delulu? Claire and Blake are terrible people because they're good people. Steve and Justin wanted to help people, right? They wanted to be a champion for women. And here's the unfortunate part is you have people like Claire and Blake Lively that go out there and they're like, we're going to stand up for women and we're going to believe in women and we're going to be progressive and fuck men and fuck misogyny and all these things, right? And then they go and screw it up for everybody because then they become so self-righteous that then they get greedy. And then you get too greedy that you overshoot your mark and then you end up shooting yourself in the foot and then ruining it for everybody else. Because guess what? How many more Steve Sarowitz, these billionaires that want to invest in these progressive films, how many more of them do you think are now going to trust people after people like Claire and Blake Lively? They're not going to want to have an entitled actress like Blake Lively on their set, nor are they going to trust people like Claire. They really fucked it up. They keep fucking it up for other women. And that's the unfortunate and the sad part. That's the real misogyny, is because they're working against their own best interests. Oliver's mommy says it sounded like she wanted him to invest in her other project that her friends were doing and got upset that he wasn't interested. I mean, maybe that's possible as well. Bren says, I'm teetering that theory too, not 100%, but 75%. I don't know. I feel like it's a bit of a stretch to say that Blake Lively hired and sent Claire. I think that Claire had some sort of ulterior motive. I think Claire had an objective. I don't think she was afraid that they were going to convince her to put Baldoni back on the project because, hello, Claire, you're a grown woman with a mind of your own. And I fully believe that you're capable of forming your own thoughts and you're not going to, allow somebody else to bring someone on your set that you feel was verbally abusing you. Doesn't really make sense. And I did not just fall out of a coconut tree. So try again. Thank you. Next. And she is posting about gaslighting. Yeah, Blake, it's crazy. It's completely twisted and manipulative. I think Blake is just full on spiraling at this point. Katie Avark says, Steve even says in the recording about we're figuring out who we want to work with and who we don't. Yeah. Crazy. I mean, I wouldn't even be surprised if Claire was out here trying to use this recording in an extortion attempt, which is crazy because, again, all you're doing is ruining these opportunities for other people that would actually be genuinely grateful for this type of financing and funding and having the backing of someone like Steve Sarowitz and the resources that Wayfair was willing to provide for them. It's crazy. And like, how do you think Baldoni and Steve Sarowitz and Jamie Heath are going to feel when they're just like, we just wanted to create a movie studio that actually put good work out there and amplified these voices that deserve to be heard. And then next thing you know it all blows up in our face because you have these people that come and take advantage and screw it up for everyone. You give someone a chance and they end up going and ruining it for everyone. It's just crazy. Blake's supporters are saying the recording proves her claims. I don't understand how. I mean, I get that they're saying that Sarowitz says that he was going to come after Blake. Because again, if you isolate that one statement that he makes, regardless of the context, right? If you isolate that one statement, then yeah, it sounds like maybe he was going to, try to take Blake down. But again, the context of his statement was he was going to defend the studio. That was his point. He was not doing it in retaliation. He was doing it in defense. He said, if Blake Lively comes at us and forces our hand, then we have to fight back. And when we fight back, I will invest a lot of money to fight back. That's what he said. It was about fighting back. It was about a line of defense, which you should be able to do if there are false claims that are launched at you. It's about fighting back. It's not about retaliation. It's a line of defense. Otherwise, people can lodge these claims against you and you have no way of protecting yourselves. And that's what's even worse. How dare she say in her depot that she has, how as a no, she felt scared for her life hearing his dead body comment. What a joke. Oh, the part where she laughed, where he was like, and he even says, he's like, dead to me. You know what I mean? He's like, then you're dead. Dead to me. And she said that she was in fear of her life. Like, come on. What a joke. It's just stupid at this point. You're picking apart, you're mincing words, Metaphorically, the Israel has Wayfair. Israel was Wayfair. Yes. According to his analogy, Israel was Wayfair and Hamas was Blake Lively. And of course they were gonna use this, and of course people like Blair and people like Claire, we can put them together and just call them Blair, the Blair Bitch Project. Um, they like, this is the Blair Bitch Project. Um, of course, they're gonna put that together because they know that's gonna fan the flames of social media, and then you have people online that are like, "Oh my god," because they're, hashtag Free Palestine people, which is totally your prerogative. But like, they're gonna be out there and be like, "Oh my god, that makes Baldoni and the Wayfair people terrible people because they said that they're gonna fight back like they're Israel." And like, oh my god, then that means that they are genocide deniers. They're gonna go down that whole rabbit hole, and it's gonna turn into a political thing that it's not. But again, that was the intention. It was intentionally meant to fan the flames of this political divide that we're currently in. Blake is going to do everything she can. Lisa R says now she can't use 47.1 because this proves that he was defending themselves from her before she filed the CRD complaint. Judge should drop 47.1. Ooh, Lisa, that's a good point. Hold on. Let's dissect this further. Okay, so Lisa is saying that she can't use the Me Too law, 47.1, which is where she says that she's protected from, well, I don't know. I don't believe 47.1 protects your right to legally file SH or SA complaints. 47.1, I believe, is, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, I believe 47.1 is to protect claims that are made. And so she had already made the claims according to her version of events. She had already raised these concerns, and Wayfair had acknowledged these concerns. So I believe 47.1 would technically still apply because she's claiming that she had already raised those concerns before the CRD complaint. I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of like, I don't know. 47.1 is about retaliation. Correct. It protects against retaliation. But if she'd already raised those concerns, she planned this to damage him. Yeah, she's hiding behind 47.1. Yes, we know that. There were no SH claims made before the CRD complaint, according to Wayfair, but she's claiming otherwise. She's saying that there were, and again, we haven't seen her evidence yet, so we can't really we can say she hasn't provided anything to our knowledge, unbeknownst to us, but yeah. However, 47.1 is retaliation, not defending. Correct. But again, a lot of this is matter of interpretation, and being that there haven't been, like, 47.1 is so new. In this case, it's uncertain, where things are going to fall with all of this. So we'll have to wait and see. Maybe we have, Zach, you are so fair. Listen, I'm trying to be, because I don't like to get caught up in, the tribalism that I think happens a lot. So I'm trying to be, but yeah, I don't know what evidence for real. Yeah, again, we don't, but we've all been waiting, but again, we don't have access to any of the documents that have been shared in discovery. So I'm sure she has something. Whether or not it's going to stick or be legit is TBD, but um, we'll have to wait and see. She filed for 47.1, so he can't defend himself, or it's retaliation. Again, it comes down to a matter of interpretation. And we're going to have to see what the judge and the jury ultimately decide. You know, it removes the malice element of their filing, which would remove 47.1, I think, is the idea. Maybe. I'm just glad you're not pro Blake, Zach. You're fair, but not dumb. Right. I mean, I do want to understand her side of the argument too. Every time I try to, it doesn't make sense to me. He said so many ways that he would be defending and not going to do anything. Yeah. Yeah, he never said he wanted to silence her. Would the judge be listening to this recording? I mean, it depends. Are you sound cranky? Are you okay? No, I have a fucking parasite inside of me and it's not fun and I can't drink. Um, will the judge be listening to this recording? So I believe I think the Wayfair parties, they're going to file a motion to dismiss. They're filing something. Or I think a motion for summary judgment is what they're preparing for, is what I've heard. So we'll see. If it's a motion for summary judgment, then the judge can take everything that's been currently up to this point uh, presented and use that to make a judgment, an early judgment call. However, if not, then when this all moves to trial, it'll ultimately be the jury that gets all of the different information and evidence and will make that decision. So we'll see. Lisa says, as two lawyers mentioned that if she said one thing where she lied or contradicts herself, then they can disregard her entire testimony. Yes. And there have been a number of things that have been disregarded and proven to be inaccurate. So, yeah, because it's like, well, if you lied on one point, then how do we know that you're not lying on all the rest of the points? That can easily, be the worst thing. Can they put Claire behind bars? She did illegally record their call. What should be her punishment? I don't think she can go to jail. I don't think she will go to jail for just because you commit an illegal act doesn't automatically mean jail time. Sometimes there are penalties that you'll have to pay. There's some sort of, consequence, legal consequence for sure, but it doesn't always have to necessarily be jail time. And in order for anything to happen, I believe Sarowitz would have to press charges against her, and I don't think that that would be the case. So I don't think Sarowitz is planning on doing that. Beth says, all I can say is every time I turn on my Apple TV, I look at the movies and I see Ryan Reynolds in The Proposal. Oh, The Proposal is a good movie. What's going on with your friend Jed? Any news about him? Jed? Jed Wallace? I don't know what's going on with Jed Wallace. TBD. Okay. Kimchi sounds great. Thank you guys for the recommendations. Jenny Lynn says, based on literally everything we, the public, have been privy to, Blake doesn't have a case. This currently feels fueled on ego. This is to cause Wayfair and Justin. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Okay, let's move on to this story about this heist out in Paris. This is actually kind of crazy. I'm just going to let Sky News give us the breakdown and then we'll discuss.
Called it the heist of the century. Priceless jewels swiped at a Hollywood-style robbery at the Louvre. Here's what we know. The audacious break-in happened here in the heart of Paris in broad daylight between 9:30 and 9:40 local time, just 30 minutes after the doors of the world-famous museum opened to visitors. A matter of meters from the Mona Lisa and Louvre Pyramid, the thieves entered the building here at the Apollo Gallery, home to the crown jewels. Using a motorized ladder, two of the alleged gang of four accessed this first-floor window, which faces out onto the Paris River Seine. Dressed in neon vests and balaclavas, they cut the window open. With items from Napoleon and French regents on show, they used small chainsaws to cut open two display cases, setting off alarms. No one was injured, but security guards were reportedly threatened by the suspects, while confused visitors were ushered out. The robbers were in and out in under 10 minutes, swiping treasures including a tiara, necklaces and earrings, while a crown belonging to Empress Eugenie was found dropped outside. The suspects then fled the scene on two scooters after attempting to set fire to the mechanical ladder.
In the future, Elise works in security at the Louvre. She says staff feared it was vulnerable.
L'ensemble des collègues avaient alerté.
Okay. Crazy. Under 10 minutes, they pulled off this entire thing, which tells me this has to have been an inside job. Has to be an inside job. Like they had to have known what was going. I mean, I would think that these are probably former employees that worked there, that knew the holes in the security system, that knew where to go in and get undetected, that knew the route to get in and out. But the fact that they were able to steal so much of these jewels, how do they even sell them? Like I would imagine probably on the black market, because these are high value items that you can't just discard of and get rid of. And you can't just like take them to the real and, exchange them for consignment. Like, I don't understand how they think they're going to get away with this, especially we just saw the Kim Kardashian robbery, right? That just went to trial. Kim was able to lock those guys up because you can track all of the jewelry, all of these very expensive pieces, you can find ways to track them. And hello, when these are historical pieces that are in a museum, you better damn well believe you can do it. I'm sure you can sell things on the dark web, but what is the point? Like, what are you going to do with, like, I don't know. I would also think they would probably have some sort of GPS system by now that can track all of the jewelry. Like, why not put little chips into each of these pieces at this point? And so one of the employees there, she goes on to talk about how security, it's been weak and there are all these pitfalls and the equipment that they have is outdated and yada yada yada. But like at this point, Kevin says they could take them apart and sell the parts. Oh, like when they do that, when they steal cars. Yeah, and that's possible. I mean, I guess. How would you even fence these things? Or yeah, I don't know. It's kind of crazy, right? Blake will be wearing them next year at the Met Ball. Oh, I'm sure. Great point. They put trackers on toothpaste these days. Exactly. How did they not have a tracker on jewelry? Is this another insurance fraud? Did Dr. Wendy put this up? The Louvre has not had good security measures for a long time. I'm sure. There's a special on TV about how they robbed the Kardashians. Yeah. There has been a tracking device, and there has to be a tracking device. And yeah, I agree. There has to be, right? Private collectors. I mean, I guess, but how many private collectors do you know can actually, like, well, I guess they sell to illegal buyers. Obviously, they're not going to the pawn shop. It's an inside. Yeah, I definitely believe this is an inside job. They knew too much. You need to look up the Spider-Man of Paris. Moko says, heads will absolutely be rolling. I think Blair thinks someone's going to get beheaded. I don't know. Steph L says, sorry, if this has been covered, but I'm late. All of Candace's videos about Charlie are still there. It's in the live tab. Oh, I'm sure. 13,000 diamonds sold individually. I mean, I guess. Housewife style insurance fraud. I wouldn't be surprised. Like this whole scheme, this whole heist just feels a little too specific. Elizabeth says, Ocean's 11, dark web, some collection are for private rich collections eyes only. What's the point of even having them? Because you know that you stole them from the Louvre. Like, I don't get what the point, like once it's stolen, you can't really show them off anywhere. Like you just have to keep them, in a hidden basement for your own self-glorification? I don't understand the point. Did something happen with the Mona Lisa a year or two ago? I'm sure one of the crazy activists went out there and threw paint on it or something. Melanie King says men like the Prince of Dubai will buy and pass on to yacht girls to pay them off. And then they repurpose them. Interesting. You guys don't know how to crime, do you? I don't know how to crime. That is one thing I do not know how to do is crime. I know how to talk shit and run my mouth. They will melt the gold and sell the diamonds illegally. I mean, that would make sense. I guess. Polly says, who understands the mentality of someone who has too much money? I guess that too. Listen, my brain doesn't work like a criminal or an uber wealthy person. Some of these collectors are neurotic. They buy stolen items and keep them in vaults for decades. Great. They repurpose the yacht girls or the diamonds? Probably both. Enrique says it's Robin Hood, anti-capitalism statement, #free something. They don't even know what they stand for anymore. I'm behind, but I'm loving Zack's response to Claire Bear. Claire Bear needs to go back to Build-A-Bear. Put her in the discount bin at Goodwill. Every gem cut is unique, so they have to recut the gems. How crazy is that? All right, I figured it would be fun to end with some conspiracy theories because I asked you guys to send me your conspiracy theories on Instagram when I was enjoying my out of office gummies. So let's review some of the conspiracy theories that you guys would like to discuss further. Oh man, there are quite a few. Did we land on the moon? No, I do not believe that we landed on the. I have questions. Okay, I know Candace Owen says that the moon landing was fake and gay. I have questions about the moon landing. I don't know if I'm convinced that we have made it to the moon. I know that there's the whole flat Earth theory, which I was going down that rabbit hole. What is it called? The firmament. Yes, it's called the firmament. And so the firmament they believe that there's a barrier that sets the heavenly waters above from the earth down below, and that instead of a globe, that we're not actually in a globe, we're on a flat land and it's in a firmament. So that is a thing that people like genuinely believe. Here, I'll show you. It's kind of crazy when you like really dissect it further and like get into the firmament drama. This is what I didn't understand, why people believed that the earth was flat. And then I went down this rabbit hole, and I'm not here to tell you that the earth is flat, because I definitely do not believe that the earth is flat. And I believe the whole, Jesus is watching us from the firmament above. That's kind of a crazy, wacky theory. But so essentially, the theory is that God has the earth, and it's like we're like a snow globe, right? And so we're on the flat snow globe, and we have this big giant clear dome around us that's called the firmament. It's interesting when you actually like try to get into the mind of the crazies, and you're just like, let me actually like try to understand this. So moon landing, I don't think we landed on the moon. I have very serious questions about that. I think the government probably did that to like make us seem smarter than we actually are. And then when it comes to the firmament and the flat earth situation. Ooh, how did that happen? The flat earth situation, I have questions. I'm a little, no, actually, no, I don't think the earth is flat. That I want to be clear about. I don't think the earth is flat. I don't think that we're in a firmament under a dome and Jesus is looking down on us. That to me is kind of crazy. But that's why I said, when you actually like look into some of these theories, because it's like when you're like, oh, I'm afraid of flat earth content, then you're like Claire, and you think you're a fucking moron and you can be easily influenced. So where is Australia then? Listen, I don't know. I'm not a, a NASA science person. I don't know. Okay, let's go into more of the questions people have. Wait, how did you get a parasite, and how did you know? I answered that question. I did lab testing, specifically a 3-day comprehensive stool analysis, and I think you should do at least annual testing and see, what's going on. Antarctica and World's Fair. What's the deal? What's the tea on Antarctica? Antarctica conspiracy theory. What is the conspiracy theory about Antarctica? Antarctica conspiracy theories often involve claims that the continent hides secrets, such as hidden Nazi base, evidence for a flat Earth, or the location of a hollow Earth. Some of these theories allege that Antarctic Treaty restricts access to hide these secrets, despite the treaty actually establishing Antarctica as a scientific preserve and a ban on military activity. Oh, so people think that Antarctica, that the reason it's so challenging to get to is because there's secrets. Like Gretchen Wiener's hair, it's full of secrets. Oh no, don't fall down the holes, Zach. No, I'm not falling down the holes. I'm just saying, we're exploring the holes. Antarctica has all the secrets. Yeah, it's like Antarctica is Gretchen Wiener's hair. Interesting. Why does Britney Spears post like she does? Because they broke her brain. I don't know. They did a lobotomy on her. Like they broke Britney Spears, and she's like a shell of herself. And now she's kind of just like an alien that lives on this planet. So yeah, I don't think it looks good for Britney. I don't think there's much of a conspiracy theory. Disney's subliminal messaging. I don't know. I've seen some of those crazy rabbit hole theories of people, and they're just like, oh, Disney has all these crazy hidden messages and euphemisms and imagery and whatnot. I mean, were you influenced by any of them? I wasn't. I was like, oh, Disney saved like Prince Charming, like that's what I took away from Disney. So I don't get what would be the intention of all these secret hidden messages and whatnot. The Mary Lisa billboard in the Bay Area, she got many applicants. Who is Mary Lisa billboard in the Bay Area? What is that? Bay Area. Oh, this is recent. A Bay Area, Mary Lisa, Bay Area woman who used billboards to find love, receives 3,500 applicants. Say what? How'd she do that? That's interesting. A Peninsula woman who rented out billboards in her search for love has received more than 3,500 applicants from potential suitors. We told you about Lisa Catanello's search for a husband last month. The 42-year-old from San Mateo rented digital billboards along the Highway 101 hoping to find her match. Catanello Catalano reports that she finally got through all of the applicants and will be moving on to dates soon. This sounds fun. I want to do this. Like, I'm actually down for this. That's so crazy. I didn't realize that this was a thing. Huh. Mary Lisa. Her name is not Mary Lisa. Her website is Mary Lisa, like Marry. She wants you to marry her. That's kind of crazy. Who's going to be like, oh yeah, I saw this bitch on a billboard. Let me go marry her. That's wild. Is this website actually real and active? Would you guys marry somebody if you saw them on a billboard? Is that like, oh yeah, that's totally normal, right? Like what? MaryLisa.com. Oh my God. Wow. Should I try this? Should we do a Marry Zack website? Marry Lisa, seeking the right man to start forever with. Forever. Oh my God. Do we even want about Lisa? Before applying, please learn a little more about Lisa, her personality, and her core values, and what kind of man she's looking for. Ooh, look at her. She look hot. I mean, I feel like she could get like a little bit of a push-up bra, you know? But like, look at her. She looking fire. Kissing on a first date. Oh, she's putting it all out there. I don't know. Something about her. I don't trust her. But oh, wow. We have fun facts about Lisa. Who is Lisa looking for? Videos, why she created this website, photo galleries, endorsements. Who's endorsing Lisa? Oh, these are just unattributed endorsements. Well, I believe Lisa wrote all of these. Lisa is an amazing person with an infectious zest for life. Lisa has a bubbly personality and she is always ready for an adventure. Oh, so she's DTF. Well, Lisa, none of these endorsements have any attribution to anybody, so I don't know if I believe you. Fun facts about Lisa. She's 41, 5'5.5", 130 pounds. She's a 36C. She's from San Mateo. She's a Santa Clara University alum. She's currently self-employed. She's Democrat and liberal. Swipe left. A non-practicing Catholic, but not religious. What the fuck does that mean? How you're a non-practicing Catholic and you're not religious? Then you're not fucking Catholic if you're not religious. What? Come on. Boring facts about Lisa. Believe all Lisas. Hashtag believe all Lisas. Bren says, I'm a firm believer in the Mandela effect, trying to rewrite history that we lived that never existed. How does the Mandela effect work, though? That's like, is it just like someone above the firmament being like, magic? Now you believe Frosted Flakes or whatever they are. Okay, let's go. She's got a great sense of humor. I don't think so. Loves going out and doing things. What the fuck do you love doing? She loves doing things. What do doing things mean? That's very ambiguous. No tobacco, no marijuana, no drugs. She enjoys wine and an occasional cocktail. I think you need a few more cocktails, to be honest with you. I don't think you have enough cocktails a week, and she loves cats. Great. She's artistic and creative. She has not had any cosmetic procedures. High energy, healthy, active lifestyle, never married, no kids. Shocker. Wants marriage and kids within the next 2 to 3 years with the right man. You know what? I respect it. She's clear and she's to the point. She looks annoying and I would never want to hang out with her because she looks like she's super obnoxious. But let's see what Lisa's looking for. Non-negotiables. Lisa's non-negotiable items are qualities which align with her core values and she believes are essential for compatibility in a relationship. Please send these carefully before submitting an application. Oh, please read these carefully before submitting an application. This is fun. I feel like we're like collectively on The Bachelor, and Holly says these are glitches in the Matrix. Meow. These aren't fun facts at all. No, they're very boring facts. None of those facts were fun, to be honest with you. But also, she doesn't look like a fun person either. But let's go through her non-negotiables. This is fun. Family. Must be on board with a monogamous relationship and dating with the intent for marriage. Must be all right with the time frame of marriage, starting a family within the next 2 to 3 years. I'm down for it. Clear and to the point. Education. You need to be college educated, a bachelor's degree at a minimum. Why is that even important? Haven't we learned that a lot of people that have bachelor's degree are really fucking dumb? Lifestyle. Generally healthy lifestyle is a must. What does that mean? No marijuana, no tobacco, no psychedelics, no recreational drug use, and good hygiene. I don't know. I would feel like generally a healthy lifestyle is you're active, you eat a lot of protein, you get your body moving, you try not to consume too much social media. The fact that she's only on drugs, like what in the no drugs campaign from 1994 is this? Politics must be Democrat or liberal or left leaning politically. Okay, so now we know why she's crazy. Religion, looking for someone who is not particularly religious, okay with spiritual or non-religious or along those lines. What the fuck are those lines? What is what is non-religious? And not particularly religious, but also non-religious or something along those lines. Well, what are the lines? I have follow-up questions. Record, no criminal record, no violent personality. She seems really fucking obnoxious and really dull at the same time. Oh, preferences, but there's some flexibility here. Okay. Let's see. Where is she flexible? She wants somebody that's 35 to 45, flexible within a year or two at most. So then just say 32 to 47. Family. Preferences is not, preference is for never married and no kids. So she wants someone that's sad and lonely like herself. Location must be located within San Francisco Bay Area or Silicon Valley. Okay. Appearance. Generally speaking, Lisa is, I love that she wrote this now, it's in third person. Generally speaking, Lisa is attracted to more clean-cut looking men, slim to a medium build, no or minimal tattoos and piercings. She has no height requirements. What if he's little? So she's open to little people. Got it. As long as he's hygienic and doesn't do drugs, she's cool with it. She keeps making the pool smaller and smaller. I mean, I appreciate that she's at least, she knows what she wants and she's going for what she wants. Why this website? Oh my God, it's a whole fucking soliloquy. What is she desperate? If she's so great, why is she still single? Let's explore. Thank you for those prompted questions, Lisa. All valid questions. Lisa is honest about who she is and what she is looking for. That one kind of sounds like that's the problem. So here's a brief background on the origins of this website. Like I fucking care. Dudes don't need all this information. Dudes are very simple. All they want to do is get laid, right? What she should do is say her marriage application should be like, this is how good I am at giving blowjobs, and she would have people up the hoo-ha. Okay. Lisa didn't focus on dating in her 30s and in her 20s and early 30s. She prioritized finishing college, starting a career, learning new skills, and working on personal development. Same girl. She was in a long-term relationship in her 30s, which led to an engagement. Her fiance was terminally ill and after 4 years passed away in late 2023. Okay, way too much info and we're not even on the first date yet. Like we're doing the most, Lisa. Oh God, I'm not even straight and I definitely don't want to marry her. Even more so. Motivated to start dating again because of her desire to have kids. Lisa got into what was, to her, a very meaningful relationship. But after a year, he wasn't willing to commit. I thought he died. No, didn't she just say he died? Motivated to start dating again because of her desire to have kids. She got into what was, to her, a very meaningful relationship. But after a year, he wasn't willing to commit because he got terminally ill and died. What? So she is once again left in a position of searching for someone who she is compatible with in hopes of getting married and starting a family. The dating apps aren't going well at all. Lisa feels like she's reached a point where a drastic measure is needed in order, and that would be starting a website. Also, how Silicon Valley is it to do a website, right? Lisa is a total catch. That's subjective. And we think you'll think so too. Sounds like Lisa has a lot of money and she's going to attract some Dear Johns is what I feel like is going to come. These are some of Lisa's favorite things. Lisa believes that you can tell a lot about a person by when they make a fucking website and put it on a billboard. Yeah, you can tell a lot about them. Here are some of Lisa's favorite things. Activities. She likes San Francisco Giant baseball games, mini golf, going for walks, walking on the beach, driving topless. Oh my God, in her convertible. Ha 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 ha. Exploring new places, museums, traveling, visiting friends, wine tasting, and making videos on YouTube. What? She loves wine, coffee, bacon. That's how you get parasites. Tacos, artichokes, deep fried artichoke hearts, potatoes, roasted vegetables, barbecue chicken, big salads, carrots, and celery with hummus. You should say, I love when guys toss my salad. That would get you more men. Her music choices are Celine Dion, Taylor Swift, Alanis Morissette, Foreigner, 90s to 2000s pop rock and alternative. Her favorite movies are The X-Files, movies and TV. The X-Files, Seinfeld, Troop Beverly Hills, The Nanny, Newhart, Notting Hill, Frasier, You've Got Mail. Okay, bored. Podcasts. Oh God, I bet she listens to Pod Saves America. Lateral with Tom Scott. Fail Better with Dave Duchovny. Doomed to Fail with my friend Taylor, and All There Is, and other things, other random shit she loves. Black cats, bright colors, 60s and 70s clothing, lingerie. Okay, now we're trying. Growing microgreen and herbs. Girl. Flowers, propagating succulents and propagating politics, thrift shopping, making videos, creating art, John Steinbeck, Hamilton, picking up trash in her neighborhood, gardening, stain remover, and OxyCleaning. Okay, you can tell she is a Karen. All right, gentlemen, here you go. Marry Lisa. If you want to get married, do we want to hear a message from Lisa? Oh, applications are now closed.
Hi. If you're watching this video, it means that I've officially shut down the application forms on my website, marylisa.com. The contact form has also temporarily been shut down due to it being misused. It will be back up again in the near future for anyone wishing to get in touch with me.
Nope.
Thank you to everyone who sincerely filled out the application or referral application forms. I took great care in personally reviewing each and every submission that I received in my inbox. I will begin reaching out by email and phone to several of the men in the next week, and I hope to schedule some dates. That's what all of this is all about. I'm so excited to move on to the dating portion. Hopefully after I get a little sleep. In the past 3 weeks, I've received over 3,800 applications and thousands of other messages through the marylisa.com contact form. I launched the website and billboards on September 2nd and was cruising along at a purely local level for over 3 weeks before things absolutely exploded nationally and internationally. I never imagined that this would become this big, and that was never my intention.
Okay, she just wanted to get laid. Got it. Okay, I'm glad we had this little we didn't get into many of the conspiracy theories. Pandas. Did you guys know pandas are not real? According to Craig Conover, pandas are not real. That's okay. This is maybe Tuesdays will be our conspiracy theory deep dive. Holly says my vagina went viral. Yeah, although she does seem like a bit of a prude. Copper says, "Yikes! Is she going to be on Dateline?" I kind of feel like she might be on Dateline. I feel like she's going to attract Dirty Johns because they're like, if she can afford billboards and making custom websites and all this stuff, like crazy. Yeah. Who is Alana Morissette? Did I say Alana Morissette? I think it was Alana. Did I say that? Or is that what she actually wrote on her thing? More about these. Okay, favorite things. Did I mispronounce? I think I may have said it wrong. Oh, Alanis Morissette. Sorry. I fumbled that. I misspoke. I mispronounced her name. Zack, if you're open to women, we could set you up with our pass. Hard pass. If I were to ever date a woman, it certainly would not be her. Okay, that's all I got for you today. All right, guys, I love you. I appreciate you. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I will talk to you tomorrow. Tomorrow, I will have Sean on the right and some other very special friends that'll be joining me on the show as well. So So definitely be sure to tune in. It's going to be a fun one. We've got lots to get into. I love you. I appreciate you. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Ciao.